Good morning, everybody. Joe Ciaccio here. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend as always. Today, I'm going to talk about some agents that were calling me last week about how to get through the no's to get to a yes. And we spoke about some things last week that I think pertains to this problem that we have as agents. A lot of things happen is that we are not prepared to go to a house. Our mindset is not focused on final expense or Medicare or an annuity, whatever the goal is. Your mind's kind of out in left field. Is that an uncommon thing? No, it's not at all. Because what happens as adults, or even as young adults, you got a lot of things on your mind. You got a bill you got to pay, you have an argument with your spouse, your daughter's not talking to you because she's upset, your son's mad at you because you didn't take him somewhere. So what happens, there's a lot of times we've got other moving parts going on upstairs. So what we've got to learn how to do and practice to do is that we need to set those personal things off to the side, which takes time, to where you can now focus on what your main goal is to give the client the information that they want. Because what happens is that when your mind is clouded and your mind is not clear when you're speaking with somebody, it is affected in the way you speak, the delivery of your words, the choices of words, and also your demeanor, how you're sitting there speaking with them. So, with that said, that's an area that you need to work on your own on how to handle that. I've come across some agents who are behind in their bills, had an argument with the wife that morning, yet they can come in and put on their insurance suit, not literally a suit, but their mind suited in a way to where it's showtime. I understand I'm having an issue at home. I'll get through it. I'll work on it. I have a charge. I'll get through that charge back. I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. I need to focus on what the client wants me here for. Once you're able to do that, and you know the products, and you know rebuttals, and you know rejection, all those pieces will fall into place, and it takes time. You get a no today, you get a bunch of no's today, it's not the end of the world. You got to put your big boy pants on and say, part of what we do in any type of sales is that you're going to get more no's than you do yeses. And my philosophy is when somebody tells you no, it's an N-O. Yet in my brain, I'm saying to myself when they say that, Joe, you've not told them enough to where they know, K-N-O-W, to say, I want information, I'm not sure what you're saying, or the word that we want to hear is, yes, that's the one I want. So, let's talk about how we can get through the no's to where you will get more yeses at the end of the day. Now, when you're speaking with somebody and your delivery is not good, you're probably going to get a client scratching their head saying, I don't think this agent knows what they're talking about. When a client asks you a question and the way you respond to that question, either from uncertainty or you just don't know, they're going to scratch their head. When you're sitting speaking with them and you're bouncing around on the chair, or when you're visiting with them, you're not looking at them and making proper eye contact, they're going to scratch their head and go, What we all have to understand is that when we're in a home with somebody, it's showtime. My philosophy is when I go to a door, I'm on a Broadway stage, going into a scene that I rehearsed for with somebody else, but now I've got a different actor or actress that I've got to be very quick to blend and for them to like me. And a lot of that has to do with just talking slower, just being nice, looking them in the eye, not being argumentative, is just saying, hello, my name is Joe. I'm here to give you the information you requested. Very simple. They're going to ask you what information is that. You're going to have some stuff highlighted on your lead, what it's about. May I hand it to you? Yes, I can. Take a step back, let them look at it. I said, since I'm here, can you give me 2 minutes of your time? That's kind of my style, what I'm going to do to get into a house. There's a bunch of other ones. Now, the reason we get no's is either because we're not giving enough information, or better yet, we're not giving the correct information. A lot of agents start just babbling and talking and talking and talking, and it makes sense to the agent because in his brain, his mouth is moving, so he's speaking with the client. A client is saying, I wanted information on a final expense program. He's going on a tangent about something that is similar, but it's not dead on what I want. Now, I've never gone to a house before and said, you want exactly the information on final expense and you don't want to hear about nothing else. You want me to tell you exactly how it works? I don't do that. Yet when I know why I'm there, either at the front door, first couple of minutes of the warm up, they're going to tell you, I don't have enough burial insurance. I don't have any at all. I can't afford much. I don't know if I can be able to do this today. You got to know how to come back with those there. If I can't afford it today, say, what I'm going to tell you is I don't need any money today. I don't know if this is something I can afford in general. We've got all different programs that we can work it into your budget to where you've got some peace of mind that when that sad day comes, your beneficiaries are taken care of. A lot of times what has happened with me and what's happened to agents I've ridden with is that we tend to talk too fast. Excuse me, guys. Our brain is sometimes going too fast, and we're not processing the stuff they're telling us because we're on a mission to make a sale. And a lot of times when you have a mission of making a sale, you sometimes have got to somewhat deviate on how you handle things. Is the TV on? Or the kids running around the house? Or they're looking at a magazine and not speaking to you? Or they're not making eye contact with you? Or they're not speaking enough with you? So these are the things you got to sit and say, how do I address that situation at that particular time to get them to give me all of their attention? A lot of times it has to do with just stopping and asking them, is this what information you were looking for? The information I've given you so far, is this kind of making you feel a little bit more comfortable that we're going into the right direction to solve the issue of why you sent the card in? You actually need to stop, regroup, and get their attention. A lot of times I've gone with agents before and they've got a real monotone voice. Their voice is just very, and what ends up happening is that if you don't have a little bit of energy when you're speaking with a client, a little bit of highs, a little bit of lows, showing some empathy, some sympathy, and then showing them how you're there to help them solve the issue, you're going to lose their attention. If the TV's too loud, you're never going to win over the TV. I don't care what type of sales guy you are. You will once in a while. You need to tell them, can you mind turning the TV off to where I don't speak louder and show any type of disrespect, and to make sure we're on the same page when we're talking about this. Now, one agent said, Joe, how do you tell them to turn the TV off? I said, exactly how I said it. Exactly how I said it. They're not going to get upset with you. They get upset with you is that they do is because they want to watch TV and they have no interest in what you're talking about. A no is going to come for whatever reason they can think of. They may not want to buy it. They may need it. They may be able to afford it, yet they may not be ready to say, I'm ready to commit myself to make a monthly payment. That's primarily a lot of the reasons why people do not want to buy. And a lot of times what happens is that you got to draw a storyline for them to let them see the benefits of why you're there, The reason they sent the card in was a good reason, and you're there to solve that issue at a very small monthly premium. To me, if I walk out of the house with a $30 sale, I'm tickled pink because part of the pie is better than no pie at all. Do I shoot for higher premiums? Yes, I do. My lowest premium when I'm pricing them out is either 50, 55, or 60. It depends on the gut feeling I get when I'm talking to the person. I like to give them 5 options. My style. Keep the lowest one $50 to $60. You can always come down. I like to show a higher price to give them sticker shock. When they see that 50 or 60, it looks very reasonable. A no comes sometimes when they don't want to give you your checking account. That has to do, they're not confident with you. You have not given them that warm, fuzzy feeling in their stomach that you're going to retain, keep, and protect their information. You need to tell them, listen, whenever this goes into the computer, it goes through a secure line straight to the back office of the insurance company. They're going to give us an instant decision on exactly everything. And everything in this computer, once it's done, I can't change nothing. Insurance company can't talk to nobody. That's a matter of fact to show you how secure it is. Let's say somebody calls up and wants information on you, they're not going to give it to them. They're going to want to call and change your beneficiary. They can't do that. It's you. And whenever that issue comes that you want to make any type of change, after we get something started today, the implied close, you're going to call me. I'm going to come to your home. We'll sit in the same exact spot, and I'm going to take care of you and take care of every items you need to have taken care of. You want the client to feel secure, safe, that you're there to help them make a logical decision, that based on making a monthly premium, when they're doing it, now they're going to sit and say, I discussed this with Joe. I understand what he said. I'm getting the best program based on my age today. If things were to change and my health was to change, it's not going to affect anything. I know the importance of buying this because Joe told me that, God forbid, when that sad day comes, he will personally deliver the check to my son Anthony and my daughter Marie, or my husband Frank, or my wife Suzanne. You've got to touch their heart and soul that you're going to be their savior. You're there now to discuss the issue. You're there to help them solve the issue they're having in a premium that they feel they can afford. Knowing today we can start off with a small one, and I can come back 6 months, 8 months from now, we can always add to it. Because they're going to sit and tell you, I've got bills I got to pay. I owe the emergency room. When I went there with the hospital for 1 week and I owe them money, I'm paying them back. So I understand, I got no problem. Paying your bills is as important as paying for your life insurance. Yet my thought process is, if you're giving the hospital $75 a month, they're very happy. What about if you cut that payment to $30 a month and use that other $45 to take care of Anthony, Marie, Frank, or your wife Suzanne? Why don't you use that same money you're already spending, kind of divide it up? Hospital's going to get their money. When that sad day comes, your children are going to get that money. Because the way I look at it, Mr. Jones, is that to me, it's much easier for you to pull back on something else. You're still making the payment. You're still being a stand-up gentleman. Yet you're making out a small check every month to give your children 5, 7, 10,000, whatever the number may be. Instead of your children, and this will happen if you don't do something, they're making out a big check that they may not even have, and they may have to do a bake sale, a car wash, go to church and beg for money. And I'm saying this here not to make you feel bad. This is what has happened before. It's facts. People want the insurance. They know they need it, yet they don't want to make that initial step to get it. Baseball player goes to bat. He's up there. making millions and millions and millions of dollars. He gets up to bat the first time, he strikes out. Gets up the second time, he strikes out. Gets up the third time, he hits a grounder out there to right field. Gets up the next time, hits one out to deep left field, falls, makes a double. He went 2 for 4. He was hitting 500. That's spectacular. That's a spectacular percentage for a ball player. Most ball players will get out there on a series of 10 at-bats, get on base 3 times with a hit. The other 7 times is a no. They're not going to get to first base. Struck out, grounded out, popped up, did something not to achieve to get on first base. So a professional that is getting paid millions of dollars gets 3 yeses, which are hits, and 7 no's, which are not allowed to get to first base. He's making millions of dollars. So that's what you got to set your mind at. What can I do to become a professional baseball player to have those percentages in the insurance field? You sit and think about that there. Well, Joe, that's baseball. That's totally different. No, it's not. It's called percentages. A ball player is not going to make a hit every single time he's at bat, just like you. You're not going to make a sale every time. Every time that ball player gets up to bat, he wants to hit a double or triple because he may have some back-end bonus money set on it. Yet if he makes a single, he's upset. That's like you. You want to get the $8,500 premium, but you may have to walk out with a 30, 40, or 50. It's the exact same concept. And the reason a ball player gets paid so much money and you're not making the money you want to make is because the ball player's out there a minimum of 5 to 6 days a week practicing, lifting weights, ground balls, batting. He's doing everything he can to get that average to 3.25, 3.5 hits per 10. And that's the same thing you must do, you have to do. You must practice when you're not making a sale. You must learn more when you're not making a sale. You must have a role model in your brain to where when you're driving down the street, you're talking to yourself on how you're going to make the presentation. So think about that. Go a little slower. Get a better rapport with your client. Make them feel more sincere and more secure with you by telling them, I'm here to help you. I'm going to guide you through this with my professional experience and being in the business for 26 years, however long you've been in the business. I am here to assist you to where you make a good decision. And this is something that we're going to do together. You don't want to control that conversation. In a way you do, yet you don't want them to feel that. You want them to feel that you're leading them down that yellow brick road, and they're going to pick out the program that they feel is best for them based on your guidance, your experience, and you being sincere about it. So, with that said, guys, hit them hard. Got any questions, call the office. We love you. We need you. Be good. Bye-bye.